Hey guys, it's me, the Mayor again, and today I will be demonstrating a Walther PPS 40 cal night sight install. Now, my Walther PPS right now has the traditional 3-dot setup, but I was thinking, hey, it'd be a lot better to have night sights, especially on a compact carry like that one. It'd help me out just in case if I needed to use it for any type of dangerous creature out there in the night. Alright guys, well, here's the tools. First, of course, you need your pistol. You need your night sights. These are Meprolites True Dots, and it comes with a set of the rear and the set of the front with a front set screw. The rear comes with a type of spring system that keeps it on the back end of the frame. Now here we have the pliers. I'll go ahead and tell you what you need those for in a sec. Of course, trusty thread locker to keep your threads locked. Gunsmith screwdriver. Remember, a gunsmithing screwdriver is far better than a standard Home Depot or Lowe's or general screwdriver, as the screwdriver bits for these are usually very flat at the end, and the flat tip actually helps with the traction on the screwdriver, so you won't slip and strip the head of the screw. And also, you're going to need a vise. Now, one more thing that you need that I haven't shown here is a punch set. I'll go ahead and get to that in a sec when we get to the drifting the sights issues. First things first, make sure your workplace is clean and tidy. I've counted a lot of times in the past where I've lost a screw or whatnot, having a really messy workplace. Alright, well, start with your pistol. Now what you're going to do is you're going to check to see if it's loaded first off. Point it in a safe direction, make sure you check. Unload your firearm, remove the magazine. And now you're going to go ahead and disengage the safety down here. Pull back on it, locks in, and there you go. Slide is free for release. Push down on your little nubs in the front. The slide should just come off. There we go. Alright, simple. Alright, now here's your slide. Down here, there's a small little screw. You can barely see it back in there, but it is in there. And that's what holds on your front sight. I'll explain it here in a second. Alright, the second step is to put your slide, right here, into the vise. Now you want to go ahead and protect your slide, of course. I'm using just a whole bunch of toilet paper wrapped up. And we're going to access this screw right here. Go ahead and get it into position for viewing pleasure. And you're going to climb down just a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit just to hold it kind of taut. We're going to go ahead and get a screwdriver down in that hole. See if I can zoom in there. There you go. I'm going to get a screwdriver right down in there. So that way, we can go ahead and take off the front sight. Now be very, very careful with taking off that front sight, because you can easily script this thread down here. You want to use a screwdriver with a really nice flat tip, preferably a gunsmithing set. This set that I have right here was actually bought at a gunsmithing website, and it's really old and used, but we'll go ahead and turn. Let me see here. It is counterclockwise to the left. Alrighty. The screw is now free. As you can see, it is free now. Alright, continue working on this screw right here. There we go. Turn to the left very slowly. You don't want to strip it out, guys. Alright, now cup your hand and it should just fall out like that, and the front sight will also fall out too. Now remember to go ahead and clean these areas, front and back, and go ahead and degrease it with your favorite degreaser. I have now blasted the top and the bottom with the Blast and Shine Barrel Blaster. This is actually really good at taking out all that crud and extra oils that will impede your Loctite from adhering to the screws of your new front sight. Also, just with a Q-tip real quick, all you have to do is just kind of wipe in there and make sure any residue or whatnot is just gone. So you can't really see anything on the Q-tip, which is good. Get that top part right in here. Kind of clean it out. Alrighty, now it's all ready for the new front sight. Next step is to remove the front sight out of the front sight package. There we go. Alright, leave the rear sight right down there. And the front sight will adhere back on exactly like your old sight. Right here. Let me see. I'm going to try to get a better, here we go, better filming angle. And it will, of course, the dot will point back towards the rear sights. Now this is actually a tricky process. Right here there's like a little type of recess and it fits in with your front sight. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold that recess in there and it kind of sets in, and you can hold it with your finger. I recommend doing that, and you can see the hole down in here where the front sight screw goes in. Now my front sight screw is a little bit long, so what I did was I actually shimmed it with 2 pieces of Coke can and cut it to the screw size, and now it fits perfectly. And the front sight does not wobble with the new size. So I'm just going to lay this in here, and I'm going to push it in, and with my finger I'm going to turn to get it started. Now this is the tricky part right here. You just turn it, keep on turning it to get it started. Once it's started, then that means that you're doing good, and you won't strip the screws this way. Because once you strip the threads on this screw, you're toast. Alright, you see how it's a little bit wobbly? So that's where our next step comes in. Alright, now I've got my thread locker, and I'm going to go ahead and put the thread locker on the threads of the screw. Nowhere else. I usually don't like putting it anywhere else on the pistol. So you're going to undo your thread locker right here. Just kind of put the cap down somewhere. And see there's some goos coming out. So you're going to go ahead and get that thread locker. And I got a good bead right there. It goes right there on the edge. Now you might want to clean up some of that excess. Now you will fix your slide to the vise, and you will tighten down the vise just a little bit to make it snuggy. There we go. Alright, get your gunsmithing screwdriver and go down to the screw right here. If you can actually see that, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There's the screw. Alright, now we're going to tighten it down just finger tight as hard as you can with your fingers. Now, be careful, don't strip the screws, so if it becomes real difficult, don't screw harder than that. There you go. Alright, that's plenty of torque. Now what's going to help on that is the Loctite will lock it in exactly where it is, and it will not move. Now that we have our front sight in, let's go ahead and move to the rear sights. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Now you will fix the slide into the vise, and you will be punching or drifting the rear sight, which is right here, from left to right. I don't know why, but you know, supposedly with the little with the tension spring in here, it prefers to go left to right. I'm going to put that down in here. Alrighty, tighten it down a bit. Now we will start the procedure. Now remember to pick up some good non-marring punches. This punch is actually a mild steel, so it should be alright. Brass is a lot better in this case. I don't have a brass punch on me, so I'm going to use my mild steel punch. Also, I have mounted the rear sight differently, as you can see here. It is mounted so that way the force can be pushed down instead of to the left or to the right, because I don't have a solid mount right now on my vise. Let's go ahead and get it started. Progressive light taps are a lot better than really, really hard taps, so remember that, guys. Alright, she's almost off. A little bit stiff, but And there you have it. There's that little captive spring in there. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more focusing power. There it is. It's like a little teeth gear system, kind of strange. And there is the rear sight. Now here's the night sights. They come with that little spring tensioner, and they are made of steel. What you're going to do is you're going to put the spring tensioner inside of this channel right here, and you're going to use pliers to actually snap it inside of the channel. That's going to make it a lot easier when installing these night sights on the rear dovetail of your PPS pistol. Alright, here I got the night sights. The teeth are going to be facing outside of the channel like so, and you're going to snap it in. Remember to keep your hand kind of close to it because it might pop out. Alright, once you've snapped it in, it is flush. Not too shabby. Alright, now install in the rear slide begins. Now you see as you're looking down the top of the pistol slide, you see a notch right here. That notch actually helps you insert the rear sight. Of course, remember, have your night sights facing towards you. You're going to insert it this way. So you're going to insert it, let me see here, right to left. Also, remember to use your favorite degreaser on the rear part so that we can get any type of particles or foreign matter or oils out of there. Now that you got the rear sight and the dovetail, what you're going to do is you're going to push it in, just by finger pressure, and you're going to line it up, and then you're going to go ahead and get ready to use your punch and your hammer to go ahead and set it all the way in. And what you're going to do actually is, I'm going to show you before I start, you're going to center this bar with this raised bar up here. If you center this with that center, you will be shooting just around the center. And you can use a sight pusher for this also. I do not have a sight pusher. Sight pushers are very expensive, but if you do light tapping, you can get the work done yourself. Just be careful. Do not tap extremely hard. Especially if your sight is crooked when it starts. Do not tap very hard at all. Just small light taps to get it in. Secure it in the vise. Get your punch ready. Remember, go as straight as possible, guys. Alright, as you can see, I've got it in most of the way. All you need is a little bit of fine tuning and get it right in the center. Alright, now as you can see, the front sight is on, and you can see a little bit of the Loctite around there. Not too shabby. The back lines up perfectly with that line. So you have a really good sight picture now. Alright, time to reassemble the pistol. First you install your barrel. It's a little bit of a tight fit here. There we go. Next, your recoil spring. Just going to adjust it. Alrighty. And now your slide, or your frame, I'm sorry. Frame just slides on and it clips in. Both of the little notches are up, ready to go. Last but not least, do your safety, your grip safety, push up a little bit, and it snaps into position. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and see what they look like at night. Now let's just see how well these night sights work. Well, not too shabby. Actually seemed to work out pretty well. And on top of that, you can see them in complete darkness and low light settings. It actually helps out quite a bit. Alright guys, well, that's the mayor. Thanks for watching.